Okay, so let's get started with our presentation. So can you guys see the PowerPoint? Okay. So do you know who these people are? The person on the left is Governor of California. His name is Gavin Newsom. The guy in the center, he's the United States President. He's Joe Biden. And the guy on the right, he's the mayor of LA. His name is Eric Garcetti. And all three of those people got the jobs because people voted for them. And by the way, Gavin Newsom's governorship, he's up, whether or not people want him or not. So you'll decide this election in November. And the guy on the right, Eric Garcetti, he's termed out as mayor of LA. So LA is going to get a new mayor in November. So it's either going to be Rick Caruso or going to be Karen Bass. It's going to be the new mayor of LA. And Joe Biden will be president until 2024. So you guys have any questions so far about who they are? So what are the important issues we think about when it comes to voting? So the important issues we think about crime. You turn on the news anywhere in the country, they talk about crime, healthcare, the economy, housing, taxes, transportation, education, employment, accessibility, and respect. So we're going to talk about the steps of voting. The first step of voting is registering to vote, learn about the candidate issues, find your polling place, get the combinations that are needed, voting, and turn in your ballot. So where do people vote at? You can register online, you can do it in person. Those are places you can vote at. And curbside voting. In order to be a voter, there's 3 qualifications. 1, you got to be 18 years or older on election day. Number 2, you have to be a U.S. citizen. Number 3, you have to be a California resident. Number 4, you can't be convicted of a crime in jail or prison to vote. If you go to jail, if you're not convicted of a crime, you still can vote. But if you're convicted of a crime, you can't vote. And there are some states where people that have criminal records, convicted criminals, can vote, like in Virginia and states back east, but it's not in California. So we talk about that. Register to vote, be 18 years older. You can register online, in person, or by mail. You can go to DMV and pick up an application ballot. You can go to a library and pick up the application ballot. So those are the places you can register to vote. And there's 58 counties in California. So every county is different. So talk to your county elected officials about what works in your county. And there's 400 cities in California, so they're all different. We turn to the next one. How about people register to vote by filling out a form? So sometimes individuals, people with disabilities can't should vote. This includes election workers, support workers, family, friends of people with disabilities. So next, learn about the candidate issues. In order to vote responsibly, it's a good idea to know about the candidate issues on the ballot. Here are some ways to learn about the candidate issues. You talk to your family, your friends, you read the TV, radio, internet. You talk to LA County Registered Recorder or wherever county you're in. League of Women Vote offer nonpartisan assistance that understand voting issues and candidates. You talk to legislators. Okay, next, find your polling place. Your polling place, the place you go vote, is listed on a sample ballot. It's usually a school or community center, but it also could be a home or church or a place in the community. However, this isn't the only place you can vote. You can vote by mail. That's absentee. Have you heard it before? Absentee ballot. Curbside voting. Have you heard of curbside voting? That's when they take something to your car. You go to the polls and you call a number. They take a ballot to your car. You vote in your car. And early site voting. Have you heard that before? So any questions on this? Accommodations. Do anyone know what accommodations are? accommodations are a different way of doing things. So Bob uses the wheelchair. What things will help Bob? You know, mine, what will help Bob if he uses a wheelchair?
Maybe a wheelchair ramp would help Bob.
Yes. Maybe an elevator.
Mhm.
Mary
Or if
is,
someone can bring down the voting materials to Bob.
yes. Mary is blind, cannot read her ballot. What's some things to help Mary?
Maybe Braille.
Yes. So Braille can help out. Okay, more about accommodations. Talk to your county voting and your county accessibility consultant. These are accommodations. The next step of voting is actually voting. There are many different ways to fill out a ballot. Some polling places use punch cards where you punch out your choice of little tool. Others use electronic voting machine. It's a good idea to find what type of voting machine your poll place use so you can ask for accommodation if it's the hard system for you to use. Next, turn your ballot in person. You, so in trust, can also turn your absentee ballot in person by mail, absentee ballot. So with voting, you could bring your support person to a poll with you, and it's supposed to help you with voting. They can't tell you how to vote, they can tell you, they can advise you about voting. So these are resources that we have. We're going to move on to the next part of our presentation. We're going to talk about our election this time. So this is the easy voter guide. Your voice, your choice. November 8, 2022, California general election. So the deadline to register to vote in this election is October 24th, 2022. Then November 8th, your polling place is open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. So this is actually election day from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And how to get ready, register to vote by the 24th by registertovote.ca.gov. Check your registration, make sure it's up to date. If your signature have changed over time, you have to re-register to update your signature. Use voterstats.sos.ca.gov. If you make sure you get get voting materials in a language other than English, make that choice at voterstats.sos.ca.gov. So we're gonna move on. So by law, every registered voter in California will receive a ballot in the mail about a month before election day. So everybody should get their ballot in the mail. If you haven't got the ballot by now, you should call the voting your state of California or your county to see where your materials are. So the things we're voting for in California, there's 4 layers of government. There's one layer of government has the ultimate authority for us. That's the federal government. In the federal government, there's 3 branches of the federal government. One is the legislative, which is Congress and the House of Representatives. Number 2 is the presidential executive. And number 3 was the judicial, and that's the Supreme Court. Your Supreme Court justice for life. So those are 3 levels of government. The second level of government is the state. And that's control, and 3 levels of government too. They got the legislative, which is the assembly and the state senate. Then you have the governor, executive, controlled by the governor. And third, you got the judicial. Those are judges for the state of California. The third level of government is the county government. The county government is determined by your board of supervisors. There's someone in your area representing the board of supervisors for your county. I know in LA, Orange County, there's 5 board of supervisor members, I believe, and determine things for your state. The last level of government is your city, and the city is determined by your mayor and also determined by your city council. And if you live in an unincorporated area, your services will be provided by the county you live in. Like I said, there's 58 counties in California, so every county is different. So we're going to talk about Who represents everyone in California? The governor, the highest elected official in California. Oversee most state departments and agencies, prepare annual state budget, approves or reject new state laws. If something happens to the governor, there is the lieutenant governor next in line, become governor if the governor leaves office. Have tried breaking vote in the state senate, serve on boards and commissions. Next is Secretary of State, head elections and record keeping. Coordinate statewide elections, oversee election laws. Also keep records about new corporations and businesses and other state databases. You got to control the state bookkeeper, keep track on how the state money is spent, issue checks, most checks from the state, and manage collection of money due to the state. Reports on finances on state and local governments. You got the treasurer, state banker, manage the state investments and assets, coordinate the sale of state bonds. Then you got the attorney general, the state top lawyer, make sure the laws enforced the same way across the state, manage the state Department of Justice, oversee sheriff and district attorneys. Next, insurance commissioner, insurance overseer, manage the Department of Insurance, enforce laws that insurance companies must follow. Like this different type of insurance, like car insurance. If you have a car, by law, you must have car insurance. There's life insurance that take care of you if something happens to you. And there's home insurance that take care of your house. And those are the main ways of insurance. Next, superintendent of public instruction, head of public schools. They manage the state Department of Education, provide leadership and assistance to all public schools in California, enforce education regulations. So I'm going to move on. Offices that represent you at the national government, you got state senator, you get 1 6-year term. Then you got representative in U.S. Congress, 2-year term. So every person is represented by someone in the House of Representatives. 53 members in California, so everybody's represented by a different one. You get 1 2-year term. It could be many years you want. When you're legislative, you can stay as many years as you want if you get voted, keep on getting voted in. Office that represent your state government, state senator, 4-year term, even number district will vote on this election. State assembly member, 2-year term. So everybody state assembly person is running in this election. State board of equalizations, state tax commission, 4-year term. So we're going to continue on. Do everyone know what proposition is? Do you know, Money? Propositions are proposed laws presented to the public to vote on. Propositions can make new laws, change existing laws, and sometimes they change California's constitution. They can be placed on a ballot by people who collect enough voter signatures by state lawmakers, the California legislature. A proposition passes and becomes law if it receives more than 50% yes vote. Proposition 126 and 1 initiative. For initiative, a yes means you want to support the way the proposition would change things. A no vote means you want to change things the way they are now. Proposition 31 is referendum, which will ask voters to decide on laws that already passed. For referendum, a yes vote means to support the law and want to keep it. A no vote means you do not want the new law to go into effect. So Prop 1 is reproductive health. What we'll do if it passes, it will name reproductive freedom as a right in the California Constitution. A right to reproductive freedom means the state cannot deny or interfere with someone's right to choose an abortion, use or refuse birth control, contraceptives, or any reproductive health care. We'll move on to Prop 26. In-person sport betting at tribal casinos. What we'll do if it passes, it will legalize in-person sport betting, roulette, and dice games at tribal casinos. Legalize in-person sport betting at 4-horse racetracks. Allow private lawsuits against illegal gambling in some situations. So that's Prop 26. Prop 27, online sport betting. What we'll do, it will legalize online sport betting in California, not on tribal lands, for people 21 and over. Bets can only be placed through a gaming tribe or qualified businesses. Most of the revenue from betting fees and taxes will address homelessness and the mental health needs of people who are homeless. The rest of the money will support Native American tribes. We'll continue on. Prop 28, funding arts and music education. What we'll do, the money, the state will set aside some of its revenue to fund art and music education K to 12 public schools. All schools will receive some funding for each student. So schools serving many low-income students will receive a little bit more money. Funding will allow schools to hire new staff and pay for training and supplies. Then Prop 29, kidney dialysis. What we'll do, clinics must have at least one doctor, nurse practitioner, or physical assistant present during all treatment hours. Clinics must report any dialysis-related infections to the state every 3 months. Clinics must disclose who owns the clinic to patients. Clinics need permission from the state before closing and reduce services. Clinic cannot refuse to treat patients based on how they're paying for the treatment. Okay, Prop 30, income taxes on millionaires with electric cars. So what we'll do, each person making over $2 million, in addition 1.75 sales tax will be charged. The money for this tax will be put into a special fund that's separate from the general fund. Most of the money will be used to increase the use of zero-emission electric vehicles and to keep the air cleaner. The rest of the money will be used to manage wildfires. You go to Prop 31. We're going too fast. So it'll be yes or no banning flavored tobacco products. What we'll do, we'll ban the sale of flavored tobacco products and allow the state new law to go into effect. Flavored tobacco products will no longer be sold at gas station, grocery store, vending machines, or other places. And there are ways to vote. You vote by mail. You could drop off your ballot. You vote in person. If you missed the voting deadline for October 24th, you could register in person. Any final question about voting? You might have anything for me? Okay, I want to thank everybody for your time. Thank you very much, and go out and vote if you want to.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay.